Okay, good evening, our lovely dear teachers. You are welcome to our second day of teaching marathon series. I hope you can listen me well enough. And we are together with you again. I'm Yakut Sharipova, moderator of today's session, webinar, which is going to be presented by Clara Nazmutinova, who is very professional, one of the professional teachers or trainers of TESOL Asia International. And Clara, I think you are ready. Clara, I think you need to unmute yourself.
Yes, I did.
I wish you luck, dear. And our dear participants, I hope you will enjoy today's webinar as well.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. Ms. Yakut, thank you so much for introducing me and for inviting me for this webinar. I'm so happy to be today with you and to discuss together with you a very interesting topic from methodology module for teacher training. And today's our topic is metacognitive pedagogical sequence for developing listening skills. At first, let me introduce myself to make a short introduction, just for some of you who don't know me. My name is Clara Nazmutinova. I'm a university teacher at the World Languages University for many years, for more than 15 years. By now. And recently, last year actually, I also joined TESOL Asia international organization, and I'm a certified TESOL trainer. These are the courses which I studied in the TESOL Asia international company. Let me just tell you short information briefly about them. The first course which I would like to speak about is the Trains the Trainer course. It's a very short course for already experienced teachers who have many years of experience and who have been involved to teacher training, and those who want just upgrade their knowledge, their skills, and receive a trainer certificate. So you can see it now on the screen. I'm so happy I could finally study the course and receive my certificate, because I did teacher training for many years without any certification, without any document, let's say, but now I have it. And the second course which I studied in TESOL Asia was the IELTS instructor course. Yes, so you can see also the certificate is here. That was a bit longer, 1 month course. And Miss Yakut was our trainer, by the way, and we developed our skills and knowledge on teaching IELTS. Yes. Dear participants, please watch carefully our today's webinar. If you have any questions, please keep them till the end of the presentation, okay? And at the end, we will have a short question and answer discussion, and you will ask your questions at the end. Also, let me remind you that those of you who will take active part during the whole marathon, who will join all our 5 webinars, will receive a certificate at the end of the marathon. Also, another important information is that please be careful, be attentive during today's presentation, because take some notes, because at the end of the marathon on Saturday this week, you will have a chance to answer 5 questions. 1 question about each webinar, and the person who will provide a correct answer to all 5 questions will receive a free voucher to study in TESOL Asia. international organization. Okay, so please take notes and be very attentive, take active part in all our webinars and especially today's as well. Okay, so let us start. Let us move to our main topic for today. And my first question for you is, what is meta? For example, you could have seen many words with this prefix, such as metadata, meta language, metacognitive. What do you think? What does it mean? You can use our chat box and write in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself, raise your hand maybe, and tell us what you know about the prefix meta. Okay, we can see in the chat box, inside, internal. Meta means inside, internal. Out of limits, multi. Okay, many ideas we have here, many versions, let's say. Yeah, multi. Multi is a prefix by itself already, which means many. Yes, multi, yes. Change means change. Okay, out of limits. Out of limits. So you are giving so interesting ideas here. Inside. For inside, we will have maybe inner. Yes, inner something, which is inside. Well, very interesting ideas. Yes. And if you try to apply that meaning which you give to our examples, like, for example, meta language, yes, or metadata, that will be what? Language out of limit or inside in a language? Among. Okay, we can see also the idea of among, higher, deeper, through. Okay, let me help you, dear participants, let me help you. Actually, meta has a very distinctive, very exact formula. It means X about X. Okay, it's a formula for meta, for the prefix meta. So, in other words, metadata is data about data. What does it mean? For example, let's say you have a big table of information, yes, and you want to summarize it in a short way. So that will be your data about data. That will be metadata. Or meta language, language about language. Yes, in other words, that is all the terminology, linguistic terminologies that we use about when we speak about language. And metacognitive, which is related to our today's topic, thinking about thinking. Okay, in other words, because we know that cognitive means related to thinking process or mental processes. Thinking about thinking. Okay, so this is our focus for today, actually, metacognitive. We will work with metacognitive strategies today. We will discuss with you metacognitive strategies. Yes, and metacognition is our ability to think about our own thinking and learning. Okay, so it's like a short definition by Flavel, because we said that metacognitive means thinking about thinking. So metacognition is our ability to think about our own thinking and learning processes. How we just keep learning and thinking. Yes. Metacognition in our case enables us to move away from doing an activity to analyzing the way we do it. Okay, so why we say it is so useful? Why we will try to apply it in our classrooms? Because learners will be enabled not just to automatically do something, but they will be encouraged to think and analyze what they are doing. It is central to the learning process. As we know, teachers are advised to model the metacognitive strategies of planning, monitoring, and evaluating comprehension. Okay, so these are actually the key words for us today. Planning, monitoring, and evaluating comprehension. Metacognitive activities in class help learners to become more self-directed, knowing what to do to develop their skills, and also self-regulated, knowing how to manage challenges and opportunities. So that is about that process, yes, to become self-directed, self-regulated, like in terms of to kind of reflect and to think about how they are thinking, and just to try to kind of regulate it, yes, and direct it. Consequently improve it. So, because our focus is on listening activities today, we will practice. We will have, by the way, a little bit of practice today. And let us see that metacognitive listening activities focus on helping learners use strategies to enhance their listening process and develop their metacognitive awareness about listening. Empower learners to take control of their comprehension process in various listening contexts. Raise learners' awareness of the process of comprehension, encourage them to adopt appropriate strategies and skills, and to evaluate and improve their listening process. In other words, in simple words, we can say, so learners are encouraged to try to control their listening comprehension, yes, to become active listeners and to somehow control it and regulate it and direct their listening comprehension. Yes, and our main focus for today will be metacognitive pedagogical sequence for developing listening skills developed by Wondergrift. Okay, yes, that is a very exact procedure to be followed in the classroom, and we will practice it today with you. Before we do the practice, let us look carefully at the stages, okay? So we will now, during our practice, we will follow actually these stages, okay? This is the pedagogical sequence itself, and it consists of pre-listening, and then a while listening stage, and after listening stage, which is familiar for all of us. Yes, we know it's like standard listening class procedure, pre-listening, while listening, and post-listening stages. But here we pay attention that during the while listening stage, it's not just one listen, but these we will have 3 listens. So we will listen to the audio file for 3 times. Sometimes, let me say, sometimes it can be even 4 or 5 times listen times will be sometimes used as well. Yes. Also pay attention. In the pre-listening stage, that will be planning and predicting. Yes, it's not just as we usually do preparation for the listening, kind of maybe activating our background knowledge, yes, which we usually do. But here we will try to plan and predict. So this is also specific for this sequence. Yes, and in the last stage, pay attention after listening stage, which is called evaluation and planning. Here we will try to reflect on what we have been doing like during the whole procedure, and we will try to maybe set up some goals for ourselves. Okay, so this is the sequence itself, pedagogical sequence, metacognitive pedagogical sequence for developing listening skills. And now we will try to practice it. Do you have any questions by now? Is everything clear? Do you have any questions? No, you may, yes, you may write in the chat box. No, somebody said no. Okay, no questions. All right, very nice. So in that case, get ready. Now you will become very active listeners, and we will go through all these steps right now together with you. Okay. So now, before you will listen, you now become, dear participants, now you become my learners, okay? Now you should define your listening goals and share with others what you know about the topic. Okay, now I will give you now some directions and which you will try to follow. We will try to follow together because now you are becoming like my learners, okay? Before you listen, let me now share the screen. Miss Yakut, can I share the video also or not? Like because I don't see the two ticks when I share the screen. Yes, can I? Because usually I click on both ticks, and let me see if we have the sound.
I think incorporating
Could you hear the sound?
Yes, it is.
Yes, all right, good, very nice. Okay, so dear participants, you can see now the topic of the video, incorporating metacognition strategies into the classroom. Okay, and now before you listen, you should define your listening goals and share with others what you know about the topic. Also, please try to predict the information and words or phrases in this video. Okay, write down in English the words which you predict will be used in this video. You may even use some words in your L1 in our first language, okay, Uzbek or Russian. Please feel free to take notes of some words that you predict will be used in this video. Take notes in your notebook. And also try to predict what kind of difficulties you may have while listening to this video, okay? Anybody would like to share? Yes, please use the chat box or you may just speak. No sound, somebody said no sound. Really, no sound? Methods. Okay, somebody is saying methods. Comprehension. Okay, so these words, yes, you will predict will be followed. Let me check again, Miss Yakut. Let me check the sound again.
Incorporating metacognitive strategies in our classroom.
Could you hear the sound?
Actually, I can hear, but I don't know about participants. Okay, some of them hear, some of them not. I think those who have difficulties on listening or problems on listening, I think you need to check your gadget because actually it is hearable, it is audible.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you need to like maximize the volume on your computer. I can hear. Somebody says I can hear. Okay. All right, so we have no problem with the sound. All right, good. So very nice, dear learners, you have predicted, yes, you have predicted some words which will be used in this video. Also predict some problems. Try to predict what kind of problems you will have, you may have while listening to this video. Try to anticipate potential difficulties. And try to prepare yourself to use some coping strategies. Okay, so this is your task now. This is our planning stage. Okay, planning stage, planning and predicting stage, pre-listening stage. Okay, all right, now you will listen. Yes, you will listen and you will check your predictions. Yes, because you have predicted some words to be used and some difficulties. Now we will listen.
I think incorporating metacognitive strategies in our classroom teaching is extremely important because we want students to implement metacognitive strategies in their study time and learning time outside of the classroom. And so they have to experience the impact of these strategies when they're inside. And so, of course, metacognition is just your ability to think about your own thinking, to analyze what you're doing. And I think the way we can implement that in the classroom is have students, when we are presenting new material, new concepts, not just focus on the what, the facts, but have students reflect on why should this be true, having them look at relationships between bits of information, actually having them think of analogies in everyday life that relate to the new information they're using, and even having them analyze and write down what specific learning strategies are you going to apply between now and the first test, or between the first test and the second test. What kinds of questions did you miss on the first test, and why did you miss those questions? If you were teaching this class, what kinds of strategies do you think you would employ that would be more successful in helping you understand this information? So the more of those things we can do in class, the more we're helping students transition from being passive learners who want to come to class and sit and have us pour information into their heads, transition them into active learners who are engaged in the process, who know how to significantly impact their own learning.
All right, very nice. So that was the first listen, yes? As you listened to the video, you wrote down some words, yes, that you have predicted and recognized. Yes, now with your partners or with your neighbors, like you may compare what you have understood so far. Okay, so you may actually just speak up, yes, unmute yourself or write in the chat box what you have understood and describe the strategies that you have used. Okay, so this is what we should do after the first listen, after the first listening period. Okay, we should share our predictions, whether they were right or not, and we should share what kind of strategies we have used during that listening process. Okay, anyone wants to share? We have focus on why. We have to focus on why, not what. Learning strategies using for active and passive learners. Okay, learning strategies. We have to focus on why, not why. It is about how students act to the metacognition, not only during the lesson, but also outside too. Yes, that's why we want to develop their skills in this process by using it first in the classroom, yes, and then we expect them to be using them outside of the classroom as well. Okay, very nice. We should pay attention. It is strategy using outside learners. New method. Metacognition is understanding. Yes. Understanding what you are doing and what you are listening to. Yes. Using metacognition is listening, is not about listening facts, but which strategies should we use and which strategy works or doesn't work with certain question types. Very good ideas. Excellent ideas, actually. Dear participants, thank you so much. Reflect on learned materials in class. Yes, exactly. That is reflection process, actually, to think, yes, about our own thinking. Okay, now After we have shared our predictions and our problems, now, please, now we should share what kind of problems you really had while this listening, okay? And to what you should pay special attention to when you listen again, because now we will do the second listen. Identify what will you now pay special attention to, okay? Because now while the first listening, yeah, it was just like a sound speaking fast. Identify while second listening what you will pay special attention to, okay? You may take notes also in the chat box. A lot of times, so she would listen selectively to problematic parts of the text. Okay, now me as a teacher, I may give you some models, thinking aloud of how I would listen selectively to problematic parts of the text. Okay, so now I should give you maybe some models how I would listen selectively to problematic parts of the text. Well, what can I say? I would try to be more attentive to some parts, maybe those parts which I missed. I will pay attention only to those parts, okay? Because when we listen first time, we just actually miss much of the information, okay? So now, dear learners, we are listening to the second time, and now you will listen selectively only to those parts which you found problematic, okay? You will listen now the second time, paying attention to problematic parts. Make notes of any new information you hear. Yes, because first time you hear something, now the second time you will catch some more other details. The teacher leads a discussion to check students' comprehension. He or she elicits from students the strategies that they used and models some selected ones. Okay. Yes, so please, we will now have the second listen. Pay attention, pay special attention, and take notes. Yes, somebody wrote very good words in the chat box. Accent, speech rate, specific information. Yes, you are right. Very good ideas. So now, during the second listen, pay special attention only to those problematic parts. And again, take notes. And also pay attention what kind of strategies you used.
I think incorporating metacognitive strategies in our classroom teaching is extremely important because we want students to implement metacognitive strategies in their study time and learning time outside of the classroom. And so they have to experience the impact of these strategies when they're inside. And so, of course, metacognition is just your ability to think about your own thinking, to analyze what you're doing. And I think the way we can implement that in the classroom is have students, when we are presenting new material, new concepts, not just focus on the what, the facts, but have students reflect on why should this be true, having them look at relationships between bits of information, actually having them think of analogies in everyday life that relate to the new information they're using, and even having them analyze and write down what specific learning strategies are you going to apply between now and the first test, or between the first test and the second test. What kinds of questions did you miss on the first test, and why did you miss those questions? If you were teaching this class, what kinds of strategies do you think you would employ that would be more successful in helping you understand this information? So the more of those things we can do in class, the more we're helping students transition from being passive learners who want to come to class and sit and have us pour information into their heads, transition them into active learners who are engaged in the process, who know how to significantly impact their own learning.
Excellent. We finished the second lesson, and now we should have a discussion to check your comprehension, and you should share what kind of strategies you have used to adhere to those selected problematic parts. Did you have any special strategies? Flow of speech was difficult, yes. Was it too fast? Yeah, what special strategies could you manage to use during the second lesson to those problematic parts? Yes. Okay. Maybe you took some more notes. Yes. Somebody said, "Did you sing?" Did you sing? Is it a strategy? Yes. Is it a strategy? Okay. Yes. So maybe you took some more notes. Yes. I thought have missed. Waited for the parts that I thought I have missed. Okay, very good. So you waited, yes, and then you took notes. Yes, you paid more attention. You took notes. All right, excellent, dear learners. Now we will have the third lesson. In the third lesson, you should decide individually what strategies you would like to use and try them out when you listen again. So now you need to think of maybe some special strategies, especially for you. Let me read. It's about how we can transmit passive students to active students. Also, this information need in ordinary life. Why we learn it? Yes, to be reflective. You're right. So in the third lesson, dear learners, you are invited to develop even your own other strategies, okay? You are invited again to identify which problems that you still had during the second lesson and design your own approaches, your own strategies for solving those problematic parts of the lesson. As a follow-up activity, we may follow along with the transcript, okay? Paying attention to how some problematic words utterances sound. Unfortunately, I don't have transcript for this video. Yes, I didn't prepare it. Okay, so let us skip it, the third lesson, let us skip it. Imagine during the third lesson, you would try to develop maybe some specific other strategies that are useful specifically for you, okay? In order to catch the problematic parts. And at the end, in the evaluation and planning stage, now we are moving to the last stage, learners should write your own reflection on the lesson in your listening diaries. Okay, you may also summarize what you have learned and understood from this text. Okay, as a last stage, evaluation and planning, please take notes in your listening diaries. What you have learned, summarize this video, summarize this text, and take notes what you have learned. Okay, you are giving excellent ideas in the chat box. My own strategy is to check myself if I have understood correctly. Kind of do self-check, yes, self-evaluation. Very nice, very good strategy. By paying attention to details which have to understand the gist. Why some questions are missed? What is reason? Yeah, maybe why I have missed, why have I missed some of the information? Yes, what is the reason? Excellent, dear participants, you are giving excellent ideas in the chat box. Work on my weak points in listening. Okay, yes. So in this way, yes, so let us pretend that you have summarized the video in your diaries, okay, and you have taken notes, you have taken some reflections on this lesson and summarized this video text in your listening diaries, okay? So that will be our last stage of today's lesson, which was based on Vandergrift's metacognitive pedagogical sequence, okay? Do you have any questions about this sequence? And after this, I will move to the next part of my presentation. Do you have any questions about this sequence, which we have done just now? No questions? Okay. Yes. Please take notes. If you have some questions, we will have the question answer period at the end. Now let us move on. So that was an illustration of the metacognitive pedagogical sequence for developing listening skills, okay, developed by Vandergrift. By the way, the video was more general. Yes, it was not specifically about developing listening skills, but it was in general about using metacognitive activities in the classroom. And now, let me give you some more examples of very interesting metacognitive listening activities which we can apply in our classrooms. Oh, I can see some very good questions in the chat box. We will come back to them at the end, okay? Thank you so much. So besides that Vandergrift's metacognitive pedagogical sequence, there are many other activities for developing listening skills using the metacognitive kind of approach, okay? For now, we will have a look at 4 of them: self-directed listening guide, listening diaries, process-based discussion, and self-report checklist. Let's look at each of them one by one. So self-directed listening guide, it will be a set of questions and prompts that learners respond to before and after they listen to materials selected for individual listening practice. Okay, by the way, dear teachers, we can give this task even like for self-study, yes, as a homework or for self-study. Very useful strategy develops listening skills using metacognitive approach. So very simple, also very simple to use, to provide a set of questions or prompts that learners will respond before and after they listen to the material individually. They can do it even at home by themselves. Another activity, listening diary. That is what? Entries are made into a journal or specially prepared reflection sheets, and learners complete individually by answering what, when, how, why, and who questions about a specific listening event. Yeah, so this one is a very interesting listening diary. Even we may say that it can be used not even for listening to some specific audio tracks or video from YouTube, okay? But this one can be done, taken even from real life. You see, because we always have listening events. Yes, we always take part in some listening events in our everyday life, actually. So this can be completed even about their everyday life situations, taken from everyday life. Okay, the next one is process-based discussion. Learners are given some prompts and they form pairs or small groups to discuss how they have approached a listening task and their goals, comprehension, achievement, problems, and strategies. Yes, so this can be done in class because they can work in groups, in small groups, and have discussion, yes, which can be done also before listening or after listening, you see. Usually we just put the listening, yes, track on, and then check maybe comprehension, but why not to invite them to discuss it in groups, how they approach listening task, what were their goals, how could they comprehend achievements, problems, and strategies. So to invite them to be more reflective and to think reflexively about that listening task which they had just now in class. And one more, self-reported checklist. Okay, what kind of task is that? Learners have a set of checklist questions that they consider at the end of every listening lesson. They can also include short comments. Okay, so that is similar, I guess, a bit similar to the first one. Can be done both in class and at home. Kind of self-evaluation, yes, self-check, because it's a checklist of some maybe statements or questions which they will consider or they will reply at the end of the listening lesson. Yes, or can be done at home after a kind of listening task maybe, yes, when they listen to some audio files or video reports. Okay, that is actually the end. That is the end of my presentation, today's presentation. Please, if you have any questions now, it's time. And I know we have some questions in the chat box. This is a very interesting question. Why we do always the same mistakes in listening? Yeah, I think participant wanted to discuss the question. How I can implement this method? Yes. Well, how we can implement this method? Yes, we just now try to experiment it. Yes, we try to experience it. The most important is that you must have several listening phases. Yes, you don't give them to listen only once, but they will listen 3 times or even sometimes 4 and 5 times. Maybe even they may listen the same track, and every time they must have kind of reflection discussions, or as we did just now with you. Yes. Also, dear participants, you may, if you find this book, Celsia Mursia's book, Teaching English as a Second or Foreign Language, this approach, like all of this information, is actually was borrowed from this source. So you may also like revise it from this book. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is how we can implement this method. It's interesting information. So we should develop listening skills. Yes. Very. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, because usually, yes, dear teachers, what we do, we usually have our learners, we keep them as passive listeners. This is the problem. This is the problem which we may conclude now. But following this approach, these strategies, we can see that learners should not be passive listeners, but they should be actively involved and analyzing what they are listening, how they are listening. Okay, so this is the main idea. Mm-hmm. What book is it? Yes, the name of the book now you can see on the screen. Celsia Mursia's Brinton Snow book, which is called Teaching English as a Second or Foreign Language. Yes, you may take a screenshot or just a picture, just take notes. This is the name of the book, and it is available in the library. Yes, and that question was interesting. Why do we always do the same mistakes in listening? Yes, how can we explain it? Maybe you need maybe to follow this approach actually, and try to think, try to pay attention, like why, what points are problematic for you, like what parts are problematic for you in listening. Yes, and then just think critically and just think what kind of strategy you can use to solve that problem, in order to solve those problematic parts while listening. Can you send the link? Which link? I'm sorry, the question is, can you send the link? I heard about webinars.
I think she's asking the link for the book, if it is possible.
The link for the book? No, I don't have the link for the book. Yes, but yeah, unfortunately, I don't have the link for the book, but you may find it in the library of our World Languages University also as well, and maybe online as well. I heard about webinars today. It will be 4 days from today. Do you give certificate even if he attends only 4 days? Okay, this question is for Miss Yakut.
Okay, in your case, like you may watch yesterday's webinar in our TESOL International YouTube channel, because it is already downloaded there, uploaded there, sorry. And then like you need to be ready with the question as well, because in day 5, we will kind of organize small polls, small questionnaire, where you need to answer to 5 questions from 5 webinars. And you may try, but for certificate, you may watch and even like be ready for some questions, and then we may give you certificate as well.
Yes, actually, they asked the link of the video. Yes, I will send it now to the chat box. The link of the video, I can send it now. Yes, I'm sending now to the chat box. It's on YouTube. This one is available. Yes, this one is available. Yes, you can. I shared my email on the last slide. Yes, there is my email. You may reach me on this email. If you do you have any questions about the courses, about TESOL Asia courses? Because I want to emphasize that I learned so much in those courses, Train the Trainer and IELTS instructor courses as well. I would like to emphasize, and I developed my skills also. I learned a lot, really, I learned a lot. And so I want to thank so much. I want to thank TESOL Asia for giving me this opportunity to study the courses, to present today, and just to work with such professional people like Miss Yakut, Miss Saida, Miss Nargiza, Samolan, Miss Shahnoz, many all other trainers that we have in TESOL Asia. I would like to thank all of them. Voucher. At the end will be some, yes, on Saturday. Yes, Miss Yakut, please, could you give some information about the vouchers they are asking?
Yes, this voucher is a free ticket for IELTS instructor course, which is going to be organized by TESOL Asia International. And in order just to win this voucher, you need to give right answers for 5 questions from 5 seminars, from 5 webinars, and at the same time, you need to participate all 5 webinars.
Yes, and probably how will they provide the answers? By the Google form, yes? Maybe.
So you will know about it on that day. We will inform about it on Saturday. So wait for Saturday, dears.
Yes, wait for Saturday. Follow our channel. Yes, and information will be provided. Also, participants are asking about the courses.
Okay, Shamzoda, if you gave a questions for getting certificate. For getting certificate, you need to be in all 5 webinars. If you missed the webinar, you may kind of watch it in YouTube, and then you may write a short report to our admin via TESOL Asia International channel. And then kind of you will be in the list of participants. But for getting voucher, you need to participate in all five webinars, and then we will give questions from each webinar one by one. So then you need to answer to these questions from the webinars. So yes, Zebo Shahsainova, as you have asked, they will be questions will be taken from webinars only, nothing else. So Gulchehra Nurmatova, as you have already kind of gave a question, what is voucher for? This voucher is a free seat or free ticket for IELTS instructor course. So you may see the certificate of IELTS teaching IELTS instructor course in the slide, which is already shared by Clara Nazmuddinova. So that means you will win your chance to be in this course for free and to get this certificate for free as well.
Yeah, I think this is an amazing opportunity because the course is very effective. The course is very strong. And even if you are teaching IELTS now, the course is still very useful for you because you will upgrade your knowledge. You will receive like a lot of just information useful for yourself, and you get a certificate which makes you certified? Yes, certified IELTS instructor.
Okay, as a Bosch of Saineva for voucher, I think it would be a little bit dishonest if you kind of participate in it, because a majority of teachers are participating since yesterday. And maybe tomorrow we will talk to our administration and we will kind of have some suggestions or advice from them. And I will let you know about your case tomorrow. But currently I cannot promise anything.
Yeah. Yes. If you ask, like, if you would like to know more about the courses, we can say that the Train the Trainer course is very short. No, it's a very short course because not all participants will be accepted there. They accept only already experienced teachers, those who have been already giving teacher training sessions, you know, because the course is very short. It is only like shaping your knowledge of the teacher training skills and upgrading it, and you complete several tasks. We had 5 or 6 tasks. Yes, you complete them, you submit the assignments, and then they will be checked by professionals in the UK. Okay, because this is a Cambridge certificate. So professional trainers and teachers will be checking your assignments in the UK, and then you receive your certificate. Yeah, it's a short course. Okay, but IELTS instructor is a bit longer course. It was about 4 or 6 weeks, yes, as far as I remember, but also very intensive, you know, very intensive. You will study like 3 times a week, and you will get a lot of knowledge.
So, and Azeva, I have one more question about, is this an online course? If you mean IELTS instructor course, we may organize both online and offline. We will take into consideration the wishes of our participants as well, or we may do blended as well, because we have already experienced at all 3 versions, and it was successful as well. And what requirements are there to study IELTS instructor? So the requirement is you need to address to our admin, and then you will get about it more detailed information. But the only requirement which I know that you need to have your IELTS certificate minimum with band score 7, because in order to teach you already need to master IELTS academic with band score 7. So I think it is all for today. And thank you, Ms. Clara Nazmuddinova, for wonderful session. By the way, kind of, it was a piece of all courses, and I hope we could manage to engage you and to give you something. How much does it cost if not gotten a voucher? So every other payment details you can clarify via our admin, and I may kind of share our admin phone number currently with you in our chat box. And tomorrow during the daytime, you may contact her and you may take very kind of detailed information about it. So for the content, we'll answer that it is very good and wonderful. Here is the, I think I have shared it. It is just Clara. So here is it. It is, and her name is Parizoda. And you may kind of call her and know about it more. So if thanks for all participation. And tomorrow I would like to warn you just to register to sign in via full name, which you are going to see in your certificates, because while checking the attendance, we have noticed that some names are presented just the names without their surnames. And if you present it with your kind of surname, like a full name and surname, it would be more convenient for us to prepare your certificate. Thank you, dears. That is all for today. Wish you luck. Have a nice evening.
Yes, thank you. I also want to thank everyone here in the chat box. Just somebody is writing, Clara teacher, thank you. You made me interested in getting TESOL. Yes, please, dear participants, I encourage you to come to TESOL Asia. Please join to TESOL courses. IELTS instructor course, yes, they have so many courses, and you will never regret, because you will be taught by professional trainers, and you will get so much knowledge, and just you will improve your skills so much. Thank you so much for coming today, for being so active participants.
So in day 5, we will give full information about all TESOL, all courses of TESOL Asia International, which we are going to offer to our teachers. And we also have some very great, wonderful new courses. And I hope on day 5, you will get very detailed information about them. Shall I contact via Telegram? You may contact via Telegram as well, and you may call her tomorrow during the daytime. And thank you, dears. See you tomorrow again. So Zebosha, you said that you have a question about TESOL of Qual. Okay,
yeah.
The question?
Yes, well, TESOL of Qual course of TESOL Asia is an amazing course that will give you TESOL certificate, will upgrade your skills and knowledge. What is of Qual? That is the abbreviation for the quality check, Ms. Yakut, yes? Am I right? For the quality check.
Yes, yes.
Yes, please come to TESOL Asia. You will receive all the full information about the courses, the prices, the how long it is, yes, and also it's very flexible. As Ms. Yakut said, it can be done online or offline or blended, so it's very flexible nowadays. And just we want to encourage you to come and to get more information. Yes.
So thank you, dears. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. Have a nice evening. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.